Yes, it truly is a world gone mad when you look at how one of the world's greatest comic talents celebrated Australia Day this week. Yes, here's the latest episode of The Benny Hill Show, entitled Benny Does a Smoking Ceremony. Sorry, my mistake. Actually, I was just joking. That wasn't Benny Hill at all. It was, in fact, Albo, the Australian Prime Minister. It's an easy mistake to make, by the way, performing a smoking ceremony on Australia Day earlier in the week. I'm not sure the Prime Minister of Australia, supposedly a role model for the younger generations to aspire to emulate, should actually be encouraging young people to inhale vast quantities of unfiltered smoke. But what would I know? Smoking used to be bad for your health, but now it's a sign of Indigenous recognition and respect for our First Nations. Maybe those inhaling all that virtuous Indigenous smoke might like to remember this famous Australian ad.
Lungs are like sponges with millions of tiny air sacs for transferring oxygen. Every breath of tobacco smoke attacks them. No wonder smokers feel short of breath. Their lungs are rotting.
So got that, kiddies? Filtered tobacco smoke, bad. Unfiltered gum leaf smoke, breathe it in as deeply as you can. Clearly, the truth doesn't matter anymore. Actually, when it comes to the woke mindset, it never did.
In fact, I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction that is preventing us from finding consensus and getting important things done. But the thing is, the two of you don't necessarily have the same truths. And this is because for many of us, truth is what we make when we merge facts about the world with our beliefs about the world. Each of us has our own truth.
Ah, yes, the truth is what you want it to be, and don't let the truth stand in the way of consensus if you want to get things done. That was Catherine Mayer from something called Wikimedia. The actress Natalie Portman is someone who clearly has her own truth when it comes to Donald Trump and his administration.
What's going on in our country right now is absolutely horrific with what the federal government, Trump's government, Kristi Noem, ICE, what they're doing is really the worst of humanity.
The worst of humanity. What, worse than Pol Pot, Ceausescu? Apparently, I think that may be what's on another little show of mine we like to call Hyperbole. Perhaps Natalie might like to take a leaf out of Claire Foy's script. Claire is the wonderful star of the early series of The Crown. She's on the cover of Harper's Bazaar this month, and in her interview, she very wisely says that, quote, she has no authority to discuss or proclaim about anything other than acting, and that making noise for the sake of it is a no-no. Well done, Claire. More and more actresses are waking up to this, dare I say it, truth, including Jennifer Lawrence, who also recently reached the same conclusion. Both of whom were probably inspired by the wonderful Sydney Sweeney in this interview.
White people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
I think she meant to say, rack off. Well said, Sydney. Perhaps Natalie and all the other Hollywood virtue signalers should take note. But of course they won't. Which brings me to this week's Trump Derangement Syndrome TDS Award of the Week, which has to go to that grizzled old rocker Neil Young, who is, wait for it, boycotting Amazon Music due to Jeff Bezos' support for Donald Trump. And Neil has kindly gifted his entire catalogue to the nation of Greenland. Is this satire? Apparently not. Maybe he could release a new single, Keep On Rockin' in the Greenland, Or perhaps a new album, Permafrost Never Sleeps. Meanwhile, keffiyeh-clad protesters have been protesting outside Jewish comedian Jerry Seinfeld's latest show in Illinois, proving that the pro-Palestinian marches really are a show about nothing other than naked Jew hatred. Jerry Seinfeld, of course, began his career doing stand-up comedy in New York. I think Jerry would enjoy this performance by his young successor, Ariane Wexler.
I know you might not be able to tell from looking at me, but I am also a political refugee. I escaped from the People's Republic of New York. Think we have some New Yorkers in here? Woo! Yeah, you know that gay Muslim they're all obsessed with up there? Barack Obama.
Comedy and online satire is still, of course, the most effective political tool. This one certainly made me laugh.
Is it tonight?
It is definitely tonight, 100%. We have the stealth planes ready. We are going to grab him like a claw machine. Yoink, just like we took Maduro. Bibi, let's do Tuesday. I have to buy Greenland first.
Over in Britain, meanwhile, a fascinating piece of political satire has occurred which is having astonishing results. Meet Amelia. Amelia began life hilariously as an online character in a counter-terror video game funded by the government to deter young people from being attracted to far-right extremism in Yorkshire. But showing the power of satire, social media memes immediately started springing up, turning her into the very thing she was supposed to be railing against.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm English, and I love England. I like having fish and chips and a pint at the local pub. I like Shakespeare and Dickens, Tolkien and Lewis, Harry Potter.
Dozens of memes and videos rapidly started appearing, many taking on a very, very patriotic and anti-illegal immigration stance.
Have you wondered why knife crime is at all-time high in London? Car theft rates have soared. Violence against girls like me, drug crimes and antisocial behaviour. Our country did not look like this 100 years ago.
Other memes deliberately placed Amelia alongside classic British heroes like James Bond.
Our king isn't fighting for us, his own people. We need you, Aragorn. Ready to save the world again, James?
Within 2 weeks of Amelia's first appearance, coincidentally or not, the UK government cancelled plans for a digital ID, abandoned attempts at organising an international Twitter or X ban, and even pulled out of the Chagos Islands deal. Then, surprise, surprise, Amelia, who began life as a woke Labour meme, remember, popped up supporting Nigel Farage's Reform Party.
Britain needs reform. What say you, Amelia? I agree, it's time for change. Reform could really make a difference. And for this, we really need Nigel Farage to take the country forward. The Tories and Labour have let our country down.
Here in Australia, the lessons of using satire and online humour have not been lost on the Australian equivalent of Nigel Farage, Pauline Hanson, whose anti-woke One Nation party is surging in the opinion polls. And as of this week, #1 in the Australian iTunes charts too, thanks to Aussie pop star Holly Valance and her hilarious anti-trans, anti-woke reworking of her most famous song.
You can shovel your opinions and beliefs. Some are real pathological, so fake. Real pathological, so fake. Trying to be biological. Woman, a real diabolical. Lefty, a real pathological, so fake. A real biological. Woman.
Yes, in this mad and crazy left-wing world, the only way to fight back is to laugh at them, and it works.